I would like to suggest that the key word in this parable is the word oil. The tragedy of the parable is that 5 of the bridegrooms ran out of oil. Now keep in mind, weddings in the Middle East were often several days long and very celebratory. While waiting for the groom to arrive, there were much dancing and entertainment that went ahead of it. Punctuality was not an important element in that culture. We might guess that the groom was still perhaps celebrating his bachelor party, or was haggling with the parents of the bride over the gifts he was expected to give to the relatives of the bride. Late night weddings were also very common. So in Jesus' parable, notice that the bride is not mentioned, nor are we told where the guests had gathered, nor where everyone would process in the middle of the night with their oil torches for the wedding and the following festivities. All these unanswered questions were not relevant to the main point of the parable. The oil was relevant. The tragedy of the parable is that 5 of the bridesmaids ran out of oil. They had beautiful containers, magnificent lamps, but they didn't bring oil to fill them. The oil ran out. And this is where the parable, I'd like to suggest, becomes our story, where we can enter into this parable. In the midst of this serious pandemic, and after a very divisive national election, we might want to ask, have we run out of oil? That strengthening grace of God that has supported us during these troubled times. The oil of grace enables us to easily speak with God in prayer, to maintain a sense of our spiritual dignity, no matter what people may do to us or what events confront us, and helps us to live our life according to the gospel, rather than be manipulated by outside events in popular culture. Our oil can run out through neglect when we don't replenish our spiritual life, going through the motions when we say lots of prayers, but never really being in prayer, in communication with the Lord. I truly believe during the times we are living through, the unprecedented year of 2020, our society and our faith community may be in need of a spiritual lube job. So much has happened, so much civil unrest, so many lives lost or affected by the coronavirus, so much political turmoil. Through it all, we might feel exhausted and suffering from fatigue. We must maintain our spiritual life and growth by availing ourselves, as you do tonight, of the Eucharist, in making our homes a place of prayer to help keep holy the Lord's Day when we cannot attend Sunday worship. That we pray during this time to get through and keep a level balance in all of this. We might wonder in this parable why the so-called wise bridesmaids did not share their oil with the ones who didn't have enough. It seems odd to me that Jesus praises these people. Despite their refusal to help the other bridesmaids, Jesus sort of condemns those 5. He says, I don't know you. After all, didn't Jesus teach us that we should love one another? What about us? Are we willing to share our oil of faith with others who might be running out of oil? Will we say to them, I don't know you? Are we praying for them and encouraging them? Are we open to helping the family that may be struggling because of the loss of a job, or not able really to hold a job because suddenly their home has become a classroom? Are we willing to connect with an isolated senior citizen who might feel alone and would welcome so much an encouraging phone call of support? Are we finding ways to support and appreciate all of those individuals who are working in healthcare and so many other important things during this time? Do we have oil to share, or are we lost in our own world? The refusal of the wise virgins to share their oil is not telling us that we should dismiss the command to love our neighbor, but it might be telling us that we can't give what we don't have. The oil is meant to represent the joy of following Christ, even in the midst of trials. The parable seems to also tell us that times like right now will come when we will need that oil. And either we will have it or we will not. Depends a lot on us. What is our spiritual life? How is it preparing us to see above what the world sees and to have a vision of hope that Jesus offers us? If that moment comes and we have that joy and light, we will truly be considered wise.